My Positive Perspective Internet Show today, where we feature guests of groups and individuals whose goal it is to benefit the Charleston community. Today's episode is brought to you by Vistaprint, who reminds you first impressions are always important. My guest today is Jodi Riley. So how you doing, Jodi?
Great, thank you.
Great seeing you. And you of course do something that I'm starting to get into with it's in schools, and that's motivational speaking. So maybe you can kind of tell me about how old the people are that you speak to, and about your message.
Well, it depends on what the message is. I have a couple of different of groups that I speak to. When I'm speaking on the work that I do with happiness and having to teaching people how to bring more happiness into their life.
Yeah.
In those situations, the ages range anywhere from 20s into the 70s. It just depends on who signs up to come to the event or who shows up at the meetup and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And mostly I would say with the workshops and the motivational speaking that I've done on relationships and dating, those tend to be people that I would say are a bit older, 35 and up, I would say.
Okay.
So again, it just kind of depends on what I'm speaking on and what group kind of gravitates towards that particular topic.
Has there been anything that's kind of stood out to you in all your speeches? Any reaction from your audience that you got from you saying something? Did you oohs and ahs? Anything did you recall?
It was very interesting to me. I guess it was about a year and a half ago. I did an event here in Charleston called Speak Out Charleston.
I remember that, yeah, sure.
And we spoke, there were probably a couple of hundred people in the Hippodrome downtown.
Yep, I was one of them.
Yes, and so it was very interesting to me when I mentioned a Wayne Dyer quote, which is, divorce yourself of the good and bad opinion of other people. And that drew a breath from the audience of, oh, as though that had never really occurred to a lot of people, to not pay so much attention to the opinions of other people when they're deciding what they need to do in their own lives and how that relates to their own happiness.
Sure. And I think the phrase divorce yourself is very recognizable, because the word divorce is out there a lot, but it's usually put with somebody else, not yourself. So
right.
It's a different way of looking at something, but as you were saying, it holds true. I mean,
absolutely.
And would that be something? Well, I guess I wouldn't want to say that to students, because they're a little young to know about divorcing and all that. But maybe I could change the lingo. But the overall message is very important.
Yes. And that's very true. When you're doing any kind of speaking, you definitely want to speak in a language that's going to be familiar and that's going to be comprehensible by the audience that you're speaking to. So when you are speaking to youth, you probably want to use more language that they're going to be able to understand and relate to. So that's a really good point, because the people in that audience, they were mostly older people, they were mostly adults, and they absolutely understood the concept of divorcing yourself from something.
Yes, and I've done book signings in the past with an older crowd, and the students were a lot more receptive than adults are to my story, because of my car wreck and the fact that it happened to me when I was so young, and I definitely do think that there's always things to learn, and whenever you're a motivational speaker or doing anything in the entertainment business.
Absolutely. There's always new things that you can learn, and a lot of times you find yourself as a speaker learning from your audience as well.
True.
And so that's always something that I try to keep in mind when I myself am with an audience. I try to as much as possible get as much feedback as I can from their reactions to me. So that's always a good thing to kind of have in the back of your mind when you're speaking in front of groups.
Sure, right. Well, please feel free to click the share tab after this video is over, and tune into mypositiveperspective.com for all your entertainment needs and all your positive moments in life. So until the next episode, thank you for tuning in and have a great day.
On a sunny day, I feel my thoughts drift away. Only good vibes and good times living in my brain. On a sunny day, catch me lamping in the shade, feeling so fine and so high. Oh, my sunny day, still I hope all my efforts will one day pan out. Love within, you'll never be without. So I roll, feeling strong and so invincible.